Hello, hello. Well, no worries though. Did a little gambit and got a little bit of armor, and then I decided after that to go ahead and come out here and do some more stuff for this awoken talisman. Today was alright. Work was kind of... we had plenty to do. Just kind of fairly low key. Still had a couple of weird things kind of go down a little bit. But, you know, it is what it is. This is the new helmet that I got from Gambit. I actually got 2 of them. It's kind of neat. It kind of goes with that look a little bit. So yeah, just, we got some projects and stuff from the other store. At least it's one thing that we're trying to help them out with. That it's just Dennis, the guy that I work with, is trying to help out with the actual project, and the instructions from Chip, our owner, were not terribly clear, and he was doing some work on it yesterday, and turns out that the stuff that he laid out just ends up not really being what was needed or what the customer requested, because they apparently sent us something else, and it's like, dude, you should have told us that they had sent us something on the, on the forefront. So he wasn't terribly happy about having to do that, and essentially wasting a good 40 minutes of design time on it. What the? You're about to shoot fire at me. Stop. Glitchiness. Yeah, it sucks. And then, see, we went and did an install over at the University of Memphis, and some of the pieces that the guy needed were apparently not there, and it's hard to tell whether or not there was miscommunication between him and my manager, or if this guy just, didn't know what he was doing when he ordered or whatever. And it's just kind of like, it was irritating. It only took us about an hour and a half, but it was not that difficult. This guy should have had a better idea of what was going on when we got there. And just been like, oh yeah, these signs go here, these go here, these go here, etc., and just, knock them out. But, yeah, that didn't happen. We had to, sit around and wait for him to figure out what was what, and where it went, and all that kind of thing. So it got pretty irritating. Jeez, die already, dude. And then this, older couple came in at, maybe 5:15, and we close at 6, and they dropped off a door, an actual legit door with a glass pane in it that we're apparently supposed to put some graphics on it. And we're talking to the saleswoman, her name is Kiva. Yes, they do. And horns. But we were talking to her, half joking, half kind of not, saying, we can go and do installs on site. You don't have to bring a whole door to us just to put some RPA on. And the thing is that somebody had to bring it in to the shop, and she's asking us while we're sitting there trying to, finish up a job that Kevin wanted us to do, because it was for a customer of ours who gets all kinds of stuff from us, and we were trying to get as much done for him so he could come and pick it up before the close of the business day. So yeah, after lunch it just kind of got a little wacky, I guess, and it was just a tad irritating. But on the plus side, oh, these things up here, those are little kind of, they're Vex gates, kind of, in that they don't teleport you across space and time, but they can basically let you jump over a decent amount of, distance there. Grab this stuff. I'm just gonna jump a minute and ta-da! And then you hit the next one, and then it kind of puts you down here, and you fight this guy, And he drops a chest, collect the loot, and it just kind of runs around and forms a circuit around this particular area. Anybody at this one? Anybody here? What you looking at, buddy? Oh, he wants to investigate that thing. Whee! These would probably make you puke about 5 different ways if they existed in real life. But in a video game, they're fun. And then they disappear. They're only there for a short time. So you kind of run around, you kill the aliens that show up, and you get a little bit of treasure. So it's kind of a fun little thing. But yeah, I will say this on the plus side. It looks like, and it sounds like. Dang, who's doing the shooting? I can't hear shooting. Who's down here? Okay. Teeny weeny tiny. Whoa! There you go. But anyway, as I was saying, it looks like they're kind of at least trying to move in the right direction with some stuff at the other shop. For one, we're getting our new manager in on Monday. Start getting him set up and going in the right direction. And then, apparently, it's 2 people who are over at Union who just suck beyond belief. Oh, I died. Apparently they are kind of on their last leg. Our owners have just about had it with them. So, most likely, they may well be out of there pretty soon, and I really hope that they are. One of the things that Kevin, my manager, was saying is that we don't want like one of the production guys who's over there who's just completely lazy, good for nothing, absolutely horrible employee, and just kind of a jerk of a person. They don't want him to just straight up leave at the drop of a hat, because what that would do would be to make our jobs a little more difficult, that we would have to kind of pick up the slack. But right now, things are kind of slow, so whatever slack they have would probably not be an issue for us. So I'm totally okay with something like that going down. If he were to leave and eliminate a lot of the drama, because he's like, I'd say about 50% of the drama that happens over that store comes from him. He just refuses to do his job. He will not go out on installs. He sits around and just kind of screws around on the computer all day. And he whines about like his health and stuff, saying that, oh, well, I can't fix this up and I can't do that. Oh, I hurt my arm, or oh, I have a hernia. I think it's a buttload of crap, honestly. But yeah, total jerk. Thing is, apparently he has threatened to leave, or at least entertain the idea. And personally, I'm like, dude, go, bye. Don't let the door hit you on the way out, because you probably break it. And just, you know, just horrible work ethic. Not worth having around. And of course, they're like, oh, well, if he leaves, that would make the work harder for us. And I'm like, probably not. I I would venture a guess and to say that a couple of good folks that they have out there would be much happier doing what they could as long as there was less drama going on. And on top of that, though, now they're talking about possibly initiating a rotation where either me or Dennis ends up going over to the Union store for a week at a time to help them out with stuff. And basically we just like trade people or something like that. And of course, neither one of us want to do it because they just have so much drama over there. And stuff's not up to the standards that we have. And we're not crazy happy about that at the moment. But it's got to be done, and it's got to be done. Mostly they're wanting us to do that so we get more familiar with the flatbed, one of the printers that we've got, in case something were to go down and we needed, somebody that could run it. But on top of that, the other guy over at the Union store, and I call it the Union store because that's the street that it's on. It's on Union Avenue, just to clarify. He's a good guy, but he has started to become apathetic and just kind of not really taking much pride in his work because he's the one who's doing the majority of the work. And when you're working with somebody else who's not going to pick up any kind of slack and not help out at all, then yeah, you're going to get burnt out quick. I mean, I know I would. So with that in mind, it's like, yeah, I can see kind of where he's coming from, and I probably wouldn't last too much with all of that going on. So, not sure if it's going to happen, per se. Might not even happen this year. It might be next year. But what they really ought to do is get somebody else. They should have done this years ago when they took over. They need to get some additional production people in there. And they just need to get rid of him. And get some other folks trained in the right way of doing stuff. I wouldn't mind going over there to help out if the drama was significantly reduced. But with this other guy who's in production, who's not doing anything, it's like him and then one of the sales girls, and she's been there for over 10 years and just an absolute complete waste. I mean, we've had customers from that store come to our store and say they refuse to work with her. Okay. What's the last thing you remember hearing? Okay, her name is Monica, and she is the other 50% of the drama. She's one of the sales girls, and she is just god-awful. Been there for over 10 years. Still can't do things right. We've had customers from that store come to our store saying that they will not go back over there because they refuse to work with her. And she just treats customers like crap. She'll, forget about stuff, and she'll totally screw up orders, drop the ball, and then pass it off on other stuff and other people and not take responsibility. I would have fired her about 5 years ago, honestly. it's ridiculous. But apparently they are on their last legs over there with the owners. I think they're finally starting to get the idea that, you know, these two people are just not any good for the Maybe getting ready to be out of there, and I hope that they are. Because if those two were to leave, a lot of the drama and mix-ups and the just horrible environment that is over there would be gone. And then I wouldn't mind going over there and helping. I wouldn't mind helping to pick up their slack if it was going to be a peaceful work environment and we could get this stuff done the right way the first time. So, but I'm just going to keep praying about it because it seems like there is some kind of light at the end of this tunnel here. We're finally starting to see some stuff change. Took far longer than it needed to, in my opinion, but better late than never. And actually, this is kind of interesting. I learned last week from Ingrid, the wife of Chip, who is the owner. She was kind of brought in. She came along with him and was essentially meant to be more on the accounting side of things. Help out with the books and different things like that. And I did not know this, but she told Dennis during a rather lengthy conversation that he had with her, which was phenomenal. I mean, she opened up about a lot of stuff that was going on there. And Chip doesn't really do that, and I don't know if it's just because he feels like, you know, like he's just a more private person in general, or he, you know, has some issues with relinquishing control or something. But she really opened up and told Dennis a lot of stuff that's been going on. And she, apparently, here's what, one of the things that happened. I know I'm just like unloading all kinds of story here. But the initial issue that Chris, our previous owner, was having with the manager over at Union was that a lot of the books weren't lining up, that things were being all kinds of foobar. And it turns out that he was essentially embezzling money from the company. And he would take orders from customers and essentially say that, like say one customer owed a bunch of money for a job. Well, he would take money that another customer paid and put it towards that order, and he just kind of kept shuffling things around real bad, and it got super screwed up. And apparently Chris wasn't even aware of it. And Chip and Ingrid were taking a look at the books because they were in talks to actually purchase the business because Chris was looking to retire. And they discovered all of the financial discrepancies, and as a result, apparently this had been going on for years. Chip had to let this other manager go. And that was a whole big old mess, and apparently corporate was not going to allow Chris to sell both of the stores to a single buyer. They wanted to sell them separately, and Chris got in their face and said, look, either you're going to let me sell these things to whoever I want, or you're going to have a major issue on your hands. He's like, this is my retirement. I've been doing this for like 26 years. You are not going to screw me over on this. And eventually they relented and allowed him to sell both of the stores. So I didn't even know that. But on top of that, you know, they've just been dealing with all of the drama over at the other store, trying to, you know, get all the books right and everything, and taking on a lot more responsibility than what owners should, because things are such a mess over at the other location. And they have frequently said, they've come over and they said, y'all are the ones keeping us sane, and they would kind of laugh about it, but apparently that's like not far from the truth. She mentioned that Chip sometimes will go home like very late and just come home and just be in tears and everything over it. And I was like, I had no idea that was even going on with him. So it kind of opened my eyes a little bit to some of the stuff that they've been dealing with and just the weight that's been on their shoulders. So I've been praying for them a little bit more lately and trying to just ask that God would give them strength and wisdom to run the business, the way that it needs to be run, and trying to keep that in mind with the decisions that they're making and realizing that they've got so much on their plate. They're really sweet people. I mean, they're some of the nicest people I've ever known. And sometimes they can be a little too nice. And as a result, they're not making some of the hard decisions that they need to make. Because if it was me, I'd be like on top of some of this stuff. And just be like, look, y'all are dragging my business down. I'm sorry, but you're not working out. I gotta let you go. And I'd bring in some other folks. But it looks like, at least for the time being, some things are moving in the right direction. And it might just be a matter of time before we get, some things truly rectified. And if we have to go over there periodically to help them out, even though I may not be crazy about the work environment, I'm going to do what I can to be a good employee.
Again? That blasted rock-shaking, concentration-shattering machinery!
Thank you, dude. Such a loudmouth. Anyways, so yeah, just trying to do that, and then hopefully, while we're over at Union, I know for a fact that Dennis, the guy that I work with, because he's actually our production manager, so he'll order material and kind of be the lead guy over production. But we're essentially on the same footing. And it's not like he's necessarily a boss over me or anything, but I kind of tend to follow his lead on a bunch of stuff. But he's not going to tolerate any kind of BS going on over there when he's there. And I'll do my best to not do it, but it's kind of hard to when you don't really have a ton of authority in that. So that being said, it's just a matter of I'm going to go over there and I'm going to do the job the way that I've been doing it for 6.5 years, and I'm going to be the best employee that I can be to help them out, because they've got so much on their plate. And if I can do anything to help that other store get on the right track, then that's what I'm going to do. And if anybody over there doesn't like it, well, they can get to them. And I'm not going to tolerate any kind of back talking or laziness or any of that kind of stuff. So yeah, that was supposed to be a short story that turned into a very long story. This is going to give a basic rundown of the day. Aw, dang it. Nose dived on the thing. But, yeah, it's just some of the stuff that we've been dealing with and everything. Tomorrow's going to be a good busy day. I've done pretty much jack squat this evening. I threw a load of clothes in the wash and then in the dryer. Pulled some other stuff out of the dryer from this morning. So, hey, I did a small load of laundry, so I wasn't completely lazy when I got home. But figure it's Friday night. Let's have some fun. And I'll get to the working tomorrow. Yeah. I would ask how your day went, but I pretty much know that. Yours was awesome. Oh, look, you have no head. What the? All right, buddy. Hey, all right. Okay, so in terms of game stuff, what I'm doing is I'm on Io, one of the moons of Jupiter. Yeah, actually pretty good at heavy lifting. It's funny, my mom will try to pick stuff up and she's like, oh, this is so heavy, and I'm like, I can pick this up with one arm. That's not heavy. There we are. Oh, they disappeared. I needed to shoot them. Where'd y'all go? But, yeah, in the game, at least. You remember last night when we ran around and grabbed those chunks of this talisman kind of thing? Well, now I have to, it's reassembled. Oh, yippee! You got it. Oh, man. One thing I'm glad I don't have to deal with. Ooh, Suiciders. Bluey. Basically, what I have to do is recharge it. And to do that, I have to kill a bunch of Taken. Like a ridiculous amount of Taken. Ooh, howdy, fella. He's level 20. He's a youngin'. And he's using the Graviton Lantern, one of my favorite guns. I might be talking a little loud, because this stuff's getting loud in my headphones. Yeah, sometimes you gotta do some painful stuff to get to the better stuff. Obviously, it'll be worth it in the end. And now you got your own place, and you don't have to worry about crazy, passive-aggressive social workers or whatever it is, shelter workers, messing around and accusing you of weird crap. Come on, Cletus. Party time! Oh, love hitting those guys and making their shields spin around like a mini. Where y'all at? That is such a fun super. Yeah, I still haven't picked up my my first of the new supers on this guy yet. Dang, I'm getting all kinds of jackpots here. 80%. I have no idea why so many Taken are just spawning in right here. It must be like a, every once in a while, in each map, wherever you're at, there is some kind of an event where the, like, two dominant aliens that are on each planet or whatever start duking it out with each other. And you can kind of join in on the rampage. total chaos and carnage, as you can see. What the? You turkey? Whoa, grenade. Where are you? There you are. No, you do not juke and jive on me. Oh, you want to have a punch fight? All right. They just keep coming, but I like it because I need a crap load of these guys to charge this talisman. And the talisman is what's going to give me a stream city. In order to... Ooh! I got some more of those. Already got another pair of them. 544, 549. I really should have another pair of... boots in my inventory, because these are exotics, and you can only have one exotic piece of armor equipped at a time. So if I want to use any other exotic armors, which I don't really have, I can't have those on, which means I'd have to have something else. But these pants look so cool. They're just awesome. 4 will delete you. 46, keep that. Oh, goodness. Alright, so what did that get me up to? 87%. I got 13% left to go, and this talisman will be charged. Here. Whee! There is a whole event that happened, I think, twice in the original Destiny, and it was Sparrow Racing. So basically there were races where you could use your other bike, and it was chaotic and beautiful all at the same time, and I really miss it. I can't believe they're bring it back. Hopefully they do. Punch you, then shoot you in the face. How about that? Sounds like something to be going on over here. Let's see if I can get right here. I wish we had trees this ginormous on Earth. Hey, look at those roots. Those are massive. It's ridiculously big. Doody-doody-doo-doo, there you are. Bye. Flying, flying, gliding, flying, yeah. Hey, don't you jump around. Jumpy McJumperson. Oh, there goes you. I actually like the animations when the Taken are killed with a precision shot, and they just like get sucked up into this vortex kind of thing. Hey, chicken! I hate those shields. Ah, see, there's the little gate. These goobers show up. You know what? I got some of this. Aw. You kill those two and that activates the gate. Jump. Jump. Oh. Oh, Where are you? Get over here! Oh, it blew off your head. That's fabulous. Also, a little trick with these guys, I'm sure you noticed, that if you shoot them, they tend to throw up a little shield that actually will keep them from taking damage, but also regenerate some health. Now, if you shoot their head off, let's do that. He did it, but I shot his head off. And anytime you shoot their head off, they just like come at you like a crazy person. Come on, no head. And now we got a big fella here. So basically, you're doing this little thing. You have to kill the two little ones first to activate the gate. Then you go to the next gate, and then to the next gate, and then you come back around, and the big guy's there, and he's the one that you kill in order to get the chest. Anybody else? Yes, you there. And since there are 3 sets of gates, you can actually go around to all of them. There, eat that. Watch out. Hey, where is it? I hear it. I don't see it. Okay, I know the chest appeared somewhere. I don't see it. That's kind of rude and dumb. That is really bizarre. Look at me, a treasure chest that drops right where I kill a guy. It ain't here. Oh well. Let's go to the next one. Yeehaw! Ride it backwards. No idea which way. Turn around it. Oh, hello, gentlemen. Get out of the way. Right there. Oh well, it's just a little bit of glimmer. No big deal. Oh, well, I didn't want to use that gun. I want to use that one. Pop y'all. Boom. Oh, you want a piece, bro?
Horrible interference again. I trust you remember what to do.
Oh, you can fly? Okay. I have a gun that shoots lightning. Alright, let's see. How many more taking? 94%. Heck yes. So very close. Ooh. Threw a turd ball out of my freaking face. There we go.
Let's make
What you
these
gotta
take
do.
and pay.
Yes,
I'm
good.
kind of wired for some
Increase
reason.
the factor of deterrent.
Might have to stay up for that YouTube. Boom. Got it. That's immune. Where is this thing? Jeez, all the way back over here. I missed. Oh, there it is.
It's that light. Here it comes. Another day, another Taken champion defeated. Go on. Congratulate us.
I will spare you the horror of vague and repetitive praise. It does terrible things to the mind. But... thank you.
Now, return to the spider.